Hello good people of the internet, my name is Andy and you're watching Geek Curio. And today we're going to be looking again at the Modular Realms Kickstarter. But this time we're going to be turning this flagstone base into this sandstone base. Hello there and welcome back. So let's have a look. So if you had seen my previous video, you'll know that we did this lovely wood grain texture on this side of the terrain. On the other side we have a basic black primed flagstone, and I thought it'd be quite easy to just basically do a Mechanicum standard grey, null oil and maybe just a grey highlight and just get your very typical basic flagstone. However, I was a little bit inspired by an adventure on D&D that I played called Tomoa-chan. I don't know the exact name of the module, but it was all set in like a old pyramid temple type thing, and I thought an idea would be to make it more of a sandstone structure, and this is what I played around with and this is what I came out with before. So what we're going to be needing for this, first of all, is Xandri dust. I've also got it in small paint pot form as well. I then do a wash of Agrat's Earthshade and then a highlight of Screaming Skull. I'll make sure these all pop up on the screen as well, so if you want to make a little quick shopping list. The first job is to basically get this all painted up, and I'm going to do that for now just by mixing up a little bit of water, a little bit of Xandri dust and going over the whole thing. And once I've got that done, I'll be back for the next bit. Okay, and as you can see, I've got a nice base coat put on this, and this is just a plain Xandri dust. I normally find that when I'm working with large flat areas, I do prefer to use either an airbrush or a rattle can, and that's purely because I can get a much smoother finish on there, especially with it being such a flat surface as well. So the next stage is to use Agrat's Earthshade, which is a shade from Citadel. And I was in two minds whether to go with this one or Seraphim Sepia. However, the Seraphim Sepia is part of my skeletons recipe that I normally use for old and ancient bone, and it's not really the type of look that I wanted to go for. So I decided to go with Agrat's Earthshade, basically because there's some nice big ridges in there, and I want to be able to get all that wash into all the cracks. So what I'll do is I'll get all this done. Now it will take quite a while to dry, about 20 minutes, although going by how my last video went, I think 20 minutes might not be long enough. So I might have to leave it for about an hour and then possibly come back to it. But in the meantime, I'll just get this all covered in the wash, taking real good care not to leave too much on the actual flat area, because if it's on the actual flat area, what you'll find is it will pool, and in the same sort of way that, if you can imagine a puddle drying, normally leaves a bit of residue, and that's where the pigment basically settles, because the pigment will settle first where the liquid hits the dry object. But I'm going to be quite generous with this. I've got quite a nice big brush as well, so I'm able to spread that out quite a bit. But once I've got quite a bit loaded up, I can actually make it go quite far. But like I say, the main point of this exercise is to get it in between all the crevices. You really want that brown to really sink in and be the lowest point on this terrain. Right, so I'm nearly done. And what I'll do is I'm going to go probably make myself a cup of tea, or see if I've got any more of these that I need to paint up, check my inventory, and I'll be back with you possibly in about an hour. See you soon. Right, the thing that you're going to learn about me is I'm probably the most impatient person in the world when it comes to waiting for paint to dry. So it's nearly dry. I know it's a little bit shiny, but as you can see, the lines on the actual flagstones are actually quite dark. Just going to put this, which is just primed, next to it, and you can see there's quite a big difference between these lines and these lines here, which are not have not got any wash on them. Let's move it there as well. Maybe a bit. Okay, we'll do that. So yeah, there you go. So you can see the difference straight away. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to need to find another brush, because I have this lovely screaming skull, which I'm going to be using as a highlight. Now I'm going to be dry brushing this on, but normally when I do dry brushing, I'm trying to basically capture the edges and give them a nice sort of edge highlight. But with this, I want it to make it look like the sandstone is worn by hundreds, maybe thousands of years of people walking past. So I'm going to be quite heavy with my dry brushing and just literally just slap it on basically. But hopefully with the lines being quite deeply washed, you should still get quite a nice effect between there, with the screaming skull making it look like the actual stone steps are worn, scuffed, so you will. So let me go grab a brush and we'll get that done quickly. Didn't really need to pause that video because it took me all of about 2 seconds to find the brush. But like I say, you see me do this on the previous video, but I'm just going to go through it again, because not everyone has seen every single one of my videos, and that's okay. I don't mind. It's not like I'm writing lists or anything. So once again, we're just going to work the paint into the bristles. So as you can see, I normally like to go about halfway up the brush, and then we dry it on this towel here. So if you notice, the paper that I'm using, luckily the newspaper is quite dark underneath, and we're getting an effect there. Right, so let's start brushing. So let's have a look. Okay, you can, right, on, from what I can see it's definitely picking up the edge here, and it looks very much on the camera like it's streaking across the sandstone, and to be honest with you, that is the effect that I want. That is exactly what happened with this one here. So I'm happy to keep on going. The good news is the wash is staying where I want it to go as well, and we're starting to get a nice effect on the actual terrain itself. By no means is it perfect. I say I don't consider myself to be a terrain master or a master painter, but this is the effect that I want for the games that I play in. And luckily the DM in the game that I'm playing absolutely loves these tiles. So I know for a fact that pretty much my entire new D&D group is probably going to be getting these once they are back in stock, of course. And I really have to stop calling out poor Annabelle. She's currently nursing a broken arm at the moment, but I know she's working super hard to get all the kits out for the Kickstarter, and I'm just being extremely greedy and selfish because I just want more and more of these. So I'm just going to stop there for a little bit and just show you the difference. So I've only actually done some dry brushing on this side, and as you can see, we're starting to get the effect that I'm looking for, and that's some very simple and easy dry brushing, and I managed to get the same sort of effect. I think the wash has sunk in a little bit better here, which is fine. I'm not too bothered about these thick ridges, or trenches I should say, because they're a little bit too thick for the wash to sink into. It will go in there, it's just it won't actually darken it the way that it will on the thinner lines. I mean, I could go over that with possibly some paint or something, but I won't because I'm quite happy the way it is. So what I'll do is I'll speed up time and get this all done for you. That way you don't have to watch me painting, but you can actually get to see the entire piece being done at once. Okay. Okay, so welcome back. I'm sure you all enjoyed watching me paint very fast. That is how I normally paint, honest. So there you have it. It's very simple to do. Literally was 3 paint, well, 2 paints and a wash. So I'll just go over that again. That's Xandri Dust, Agrax Earthshade as a wash, and Screaming Skull. And that is all that I needed in order to create these wonderful sandstone bases. And like I say, I mean, I've been waxing lyrical about these things, not only on my channel but in Discord chats when I turn up at D&D games and stuff. And I think this terrain is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's double-sided, so as you can see on one side I've got the wood bases, the timbers, which is ideal for like a tavern or possibly a ship, and on the other side I've got sandstone, and I can easily use that in, say, like a temple setting, a desert setting, pyramids, whatever I want really. And even though there's only, I think there's only like 4 styles at the moment available, once they come back into stock again, but I'm probably going to be buying a hell of a lot of these. I mean, like I say, with these flagstone bases themselves, I'll probably be doing your very typical grey and black, so you get your typical streets. I'm looking forward to seeing some cobblestone ones so I can build towns or lay ground down between towns. I might do some brown and greens to make it look like a jungle temple perhaps, which I think would be a good idea. Some of the plain ones, I want to get some grass on them. Yes, I'm going to go mad. I'm going to use some flocking, so I'll be PVAing them up and basically putting some grass down, and it's going to be a very nice textured base. I don't know if that's going to work double-sided, but who knows. But these are probably one... No, it's not even going to be probably. These are the best thing that I bought this year. And if you've been following the channel, you know for a fact I bought a lot of things. But these are fantastic, and they're great fun to paint. They're great fun to really get your creative juices going as well, because I just come up with so many ideas for them, so many things that I want to try and so many things that I want to do, and it's just a pity that I've got not enough basically. So as soon as these come back into stock, I'm probably not going to tell anyone about it because I want them all for myself, but no, I really will point you in the right direction. What I'll do, I'll leave a link in the description below for the Modular Rounds website, but check out the Modular Rounds Facebook group as well, which I'm part of. There's lots of fantastic ideas and lots of people being super creative. There's even some, Annabelle's dad did a video on marble texture on these, and that was fantastic, so I'm looking forward to trying out all sorts of things. I think an ice one would be really cool as well. Right, I'm starting to get a bit ahead of myself now. But yes, thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, it would mean a hell of a lot for you to give me a big thumbs up and click that like button. If you enjoy what I do and want to see some more, you can click the subscribe button below. And if you want to be notified, click on that bell button and you'll get a notification to let you know whenever I upload a new video. If you really love what I do and you want to support me some more, I also have links to my Patreon below. Believe it or not, this video was actually voted for by my patrons. So that's the sort of involvement and engagement that I have with the people who support me the most. So if you want to get in on that and get your names in the credits, by all means check out my Patreon, which will be linked in the description below. But in the meantime, stay safe and take care.